Good evening. Am I permitted to hold this up while I talk? Thank you. First, good evening, thank you. And I want to say that it was very important to hear so many people speak in favor of immigrants. I too know what it's like to have a mother deported. Mine was deported in 2002. I was fortunate to get her back almost more than a decade later. And the subject on which I want to speak connects, like all human issues, immigrants, properties, blighted properties, homes, taxpayers. These are our issues that we deal with every day. And so I want to bring your attention back to something that I have spoken here about before, which is the area along Center Street where I live, also known as Bates Redevelopment Plan. Just to let the council members know, the top two photographs depict two homes, 40 Center Street and 38 Center Street, as they looked in April of 2017. The photograph with the people in it show the residents, Debbie and Andy Rampasad, who were the owners of 40 Center Street, no longer are owners, and Joe D'Souza, also known as Buddha, who was the owner of 38 Center Street. His house got boarded up a few weeks ago by Manhattan building companies. And the bottom photograph is January 10th. This is what their homes look like now. As you can see, they're neither blighted or decrepit or unkempt. And it's important that I discuss this today. So a couple of years ago, JCRA designated Manhattan building companies over 4 square blocks along Center Street, subsequently sanctioning aggressive building tactics. Tonight, we spoke a lot about blighted properties, rights of immigrants, and these, my neighbors, my former neighbors, were first-generation immigrants whose houses were not blighted. In fact, they were the nicest homes in all of our 4 blocks. Yet, according to the existing redevelopment plan, small homes along Center Street are to be acquired. And it also says in the redevelopment plan that if relocation of people in this entire process becomes necessary, that this process will receive the careful attention of local officials. And this is what I want to point out. So we did receive careful attention of local officials in this process. Primarily, Mr. Robinson will remember that he gave me a heads up about Mr. Jason Skolowski, who would call us to inquire about purchasing properties along Center Street. Also, there was council members, Ms. Waterman, Mr. Lavaru came to our street along with Manhattan Building Company's representatives, John Palumbo and Alex Wright, which to me was kind of hopeful, thinking that finally our local officials are paying attention, which means that they might protect us in this process. However, I guess it didn't work, or worked in the other direction, because first house got boarded up shortly after. Before it got boarded up, I was very sad to see an article by my councilman, as you remember, when you wrote that our neighborhood consists of vacant lots and mostly empty industrial buildings that were abandoned. We weren't abandoned when you wrote that, but we certainly look abandoned now. These were really good people, and I will really miss them. Sorry. It just saddens me that this careful attention that is mentioned in this redevelopment plan seems to work in favor of developers and not in favor of us, of taxpayers, of voters, of your constituents. The poster that I'm using, it's a bit ironic. I wanted to show you. You may remember this. Your campaign people came to us in 2017 asking to put these up on our homes, and we did. A lot of good it did us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.